Yo, yo, yo! Hey, have you ever been playing Fortnite and you felt like you were performing you just didn't want to get off? Come on, we've all been there. Those are the moments we live for. But other times, it feels like you're making mistake after mistake after mistake. Who am I talking to? You know, it seems like you're not winning a single engagement. Unfortunately, we've all been there, for sure. So today, we're going to be discussing some of the skills you need to up your game. Aren't you excited about that? And I don't just mean building or aiming, not this time. The essential thing we'll be discussing is your mentality. That is super important. The impact it has on you and how it's the most important aspect of a successful player. We're also going to be discussing how to train effectively, why you're not seeing the results, and how to build confidence. Whether it be traditional sports, business, gaming, or virtually anything in life, you know, the mind plays a really big role in your success. If you're looking to become a dominant force in Fortnite, solidify and implement these key aspects into your game style, and you will most certainly produce outstanding results. I'm telling you, it's all about the mind. Once you feel like you have the right mentality to win some games, head over to Proguides.com for courses that fill you in on all the pro secret strategies. Or connect with the pro through our coaching service, InstaPro. You'll learn some skills from the pros themselves in the game of your choice. You'll be getting some victories in no time, trust me. Hey guys, this is Keith Allen. You guys ready to do this video? Let's go. Okay, so first up, we have the mindset. In the Fortnite competitive scene, it's very common for people to get frustrated and angry with bad performances. Come on, we've all been there. Trust me, you do not want to be that guy. Just think of all those times when you scuffed your landing, got a bad weapon, or even got sniped. Much of Fortnite's gameplay revolves around RNG, and that's fine. But that can't be the main reason all those top Fortnite superstars like Clix, Mongrel, or even Bughug qualified, right? Of course not. Ghost Bizzle, a world-renowned pro player, said in an interview back at PAX West, if you're blaming RNG, you aren't good enough. And as much as we hate to hear it, he's right. The moment you tilt and start thinking the game is out of your control, the game will become out of your control. Not because of RNG, but because you're telling yourself you can't win. It's highly essential for you to have a strong mindset and not let anything bring you down. You know what's crazy? Professional players are able to seemingly turn dismal situations to their advantage with mindset alone. Your mentality, guys, I promise, is the most important factor in becoming successful at anything, including Fortnite. Another pro player testified to that. Kenneth from 100 Thieves stated the current meta for success is not getting tilted. This is the truth. The moment you get pissed off and your mood changes, what happens? You lose the momentum you had to win. Maintaining a healthy and positive mindset is super important for success. The moment you lose that motivation and you start this steady stream of complaints, your game as you know it comes crashing down. Trust me, I've been there so many times. This is coming from a highly skilled player, Kenneth from 100T. I mean, before the World Cup, the man participated in nearly every tournament. He struggled with his mentality, and he admits that was the reason he didn't qualify. That is precisely, guys, why you shouldn't let it hold you back. Take a look.
Once again, just losing your composure, especially for me, towards the second half of the session. And when one thing goes bad, it just, I guess it affects you for the rest of the games. I know that we could have done so much better.
Now, let's move on to our next important topic, which is training properly. I'm sure you're probably wondering, what exactly does training effectively mean? Isn't training all the same? Well, yes and no. While it's true that training is a means of getting better through practice, it cannot improve you on its own. There are two aspects of training, guys. We have the mental aspect and the efficient aspect. Perhaps your aim, edits, and building aren't giving you the qualification spot in the World Cup. On the bright side, this can all be easily solved. If you simply just grind out pub games for 10 hours a day and wonder why you haven't qualified for the World Cup, then that's the reason why. You could easily get better doing an hour of creative, aim practice, and then playing arena or scrims. You just need to focus on the areas where you need the most improvement. Go into replay mode, find out why you died, and improve upon that specifically. Grind out practice drills, guys, that relate to your weak points. This is something a coach at InstaPro would do with you. Sometimes it really does help to have that extra guidance. Also, understand that your attitude towards training is also a very big factor. Treating training as a waste of time, guys, like homework, is going to result in you just dreading it at all. In other words, hey, every single time you hop into a scrim or playgrounds, your brain is not productively working to benefit you. You'll instead be wondering when it's over. Remember what we talked about a few minutes ago, how the mindset says a lot about whether or not you will succeed or not? You may be thinking to yourself, okay, well, what if I'm a bad player or a beginner? How is a mindset going to turn things around for me? Well, we aren't expecting a beginner to simply just change his mindset and take home the trophy, but this type of approach, I'm telling you, will help you progress quickly and efficiently in the long run. Some of you may still not be convinced. Okay, that's fine. So let's just bring in some stats. When we take a look at some of the top pros that have qualified multiple times for the World Cup, we see a common distinction. Stompy, Clix, and Bugha all have a positive approach to Fortnite. I'm sure here and there they lose it, okay? I'm not telling you that they're perfect. You know, we're all human, right? But for the most part, they are playing with a naturally dominant mindset. They never complain about new updates or whether or not Epic's decisions will ruin their chances. They put their goals first and overcome any obstacle that is thrown at them. Unlike other known pros, who I will not mention, I'm sure you guys are smart enough to figure that out. These pros are super quick to complain every single time an item gets vaulted. Oh my goodness. Their thought process turns negative, and then they start criticizing the game, and it just all goes downhill from there. This shows you clearly they only focus on the bad and not what's good. Okay, so next up, we have to adapt to the meta. So Fortnite is an ever-evolving game, right? If you compare the Season 2 pro players to what they are now, you'll be shocked. Every week, it seems like a new strategy is being developed. If you aren't willing to adapt, you'll be left behind. But hey, that's what makes Fortnite so great, right? However, sometimes we just look at our gameplay and we aren't impressed. Okay, so have you ever thought that perhaps it could just be everyone else is getting better? Maybe. Perhaps you've neglected to practice as much as you should. No matter how you put it, practicing is essential to Fortnite. It's a must to stay ahead of the game and reign supreme. The more time you put into learning all the latest tactics, the more you acquire the knowledge to counter them. This is going to allow you to combat certain strategies players use against you. A very common trick that people are trying to learn is the box exploit. Okay, so we all know that it's hard to phase inside somebody's box, so all of us are looking for a way around it. So there's a new technique where you can actually use a flintlock pistol to get inside someone's 1x1. Check it out.
Like this. Oh, okay, good. Okay, now I get it.
Okay, so if you've never seen this technique, it is very likely that you'd fall victim to it. I mean, who expects a maniac to just fly into your box and shotgun you in the face? So with hindsight, I'm sure you're gonna be fully prepared for it and be aware of how to counter it. Okay, so now let's take a look at a testimonial from a Fortnite pro player explaining that adapting is one of Fortnite's most beneficial learning curves. Stompy posted a tweet stating this: I see so many people crying about luck and RNG in Fortnite. It's for sure a huge factor because it's a BR, but you can still pull off a high point round with bad RNG. You guys need to change your mindset and start working on your mistakes. You can't change Fortnite, but you change your playstyle. This, guys, is huge. Coming from a 7X World Cup qualifier, I mean, I think by now Stompy kind of knows more than all of us combined. Let's be real. I mean, if Fortnite were all RNG, qualifying 7 times wouldn't have been possible. So remember, instead of complaining, learn to adapt. One mistake I see often, and I've been a victim of it myself, cannot lie, that applies to almost everybody, is their ego. Our ego is a big interference with reaching the upper echelons in Fortnite. Sometimes, we feel as if we reached Fortnite's skill ceiling and we can't get any better. This type of mindset is very harmful, and even the top players know that there's always something to improve on. And proof of that is Fortnite's ever-evolving meta. How can you improve if Fortnite adds something new every week? When we take a look at what a pro player looked like just a few seasons ago, it leaves us in a state of shock. Mr. Grimm's or High Distortion were considered legends back in their time. Now they're hovering around the content creator skill level. Fortnite is constantly allowing people to build on new opportunities and create different meta tactics. Maybe you aren't looking closely at what you're doing wrong. If you take a closer look after you die, I guarantee you're gonna always find something you did wrong. Now, with that being said, guys, hey, how you perform and what you perceive can be heavily affected by your mood as well. To put that into perspective, let's use a World Cup game as an example. If you dive to start and get tilted, you're just gonna carry that over into your next game and most likely not perform as you would. Now, I know, everybody gets tilted at some point, even the pros in certain situations, but learning to overcome this is the goal, guys. But last but certainly not least, we have to build confidence. Confidence, guys, is another mind game you'll be playing with yourself. And finding a balance between being overly confident and not confident at all is an important aspect. If you take a look at players like Mongrel, Clix, and Stompy, you're gonna notice a pattern. They're all super confident in what they do. They play as if they are the best players in the game at all times. This mindset takes them a long way, especially in high-level matches. I would pair being underconfident with panicking and if you struggle to stay calm under high-pressure situations. A lot of confidence comes down to how comfortable you are in certain situations and how many times you've encountered that scenario. For example, landing in a particular spot or encountering a certain build, let's say a side jump. Even if you think you've come to the point where you know all the tricks in the book, it still isn't a good mindset. Why? Because underestimating your opponent and playing overconfidently can cause you to make silly mistakes. I found myself doing this before. I remember peeking just too hard, and instead of getting an advantageous angle on them where they can't really shoot back, I decided to take the 50-50 bloom fight, and I lost. Now, on the flip side, being underconfident is detrimental also. The moment you become underconfident, you're going to immediately put yourself at a disadvantage. You have to have some sort of practice just to push for high ground and put into play what you practice. Because if not, you may be spending your whole time sitting in a turtle, and eventually, they're going to take your wall. Also, if you feel like they're a better player, you're not going to be able to execute what you've been practicing, and that's going to lead you to panicking and making mistakes on builds. A lot of it comes down to finding that sweet spot where you feel you're always the better player, but realizing at the same time your mistakes and realizing you aren't invincible. Utilizing all the techniques you practice so don't end up making those same mistakes. So, just a recap of this video. Number 1, having a positive mindset can take you a long way. Come on. Number 2, train with a purpose. Yeah. Number 3, adapt to the meta, just don't whine about it. Number 4, understand why you don't see results and learn from it, please. And number 5, guys, be confident. So there you have it, guys. We just outlined all 5 traits a pro player has. So take these to heart, implement them, and you're on the way to becoming that next pro player. And don't forget to like, guys, and subscribe to show Proguides some love for bringing you this video. Hey, guys, this is Keith Allen. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. And you know what? I would love to connect with you on my Instagram. So go ahead and holla at your boy on there. And stay tuned for more videos coming out. Peace.